Skadoosh ASMR Heavy. Hey, it's me, your best bud with the ASMR goods. It's 4 a.m. in the morning, and we're about to embark on an epic adventure. That's right, we're going to be climbing Snowdon as we, load up the car with the snacks, the goods, all the good stuff. We're out. Look at it, it's dark out, it's dark. It's actually so dark out. We're here to pick up my cousin now. He's coming with me. It's a 3-hour journey, 160 odd miles, I'd say. Here he is, Giles. Giles is my companion today. My cousin. Here he is in the car. We are both tired. He's just smashed a load of caffeine. Maybe too early. Anyway, so here we are. Underway. 34 minutes away, 28 miles. Can you see the sea? I can see the sea. It's right there. Look. It's right there. The sea. The sea is over there. I can see the sea. Can you see the sea? See. I can see what I mean. I was hoping for a lovely sunrise on the way, but it was overcast, so we did miss out on such a lovely occurrence. But it is what it is. You have to move on. Not everything is perfect in life. So we keep going. And to be fair, the drive there was decent. Went pretty quick, and it felt, comfortable enough. So it's all good in that respect. Nice little journey down there, across from England to Wales, And before we know it, we are there. It was dark, now it's light. We were tired, but we're basically there. So this is where I parked. Mares Pasio, Park Pardum, Mars Pasio, Park Pardum. And just like that, with the magical power of editing, a 3-hour journey becomes a 1 minute plus editing clip. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, here we are. My cousin thought that mound over there was Snowdon, but he was sorely mistaken, as you'll find out. But yeah, here we are. Car park is empty. Decent car park, that is, just FYI. It's close in vicinity and only £6 for parking, which is these days isn't too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Anyway, here we are. This is the first little signage. I didn't notice that crow flying across, but I think it was a bird. Anyway, some kind of bird. As we come towards the first bit of signage, don't know why that is on the floor either. I didn't notice that at the time, but here it is. Look, here we are over there at the top. Just there, we are there, and it gives you an idea of all the things in the town actually. But we're going the opposite way. We're going towards the Clanberris Pass. And yeah. I'm just saying, I'm just waffling to my cousin, just joking with him, but here we go, we're going to head off. This is the first part that you're looking for. Once you go across this part at the start, actually, it's where the hardest bit, I'm not going to lie. But you go across this, what's that cow grate thing, to stop the animals getting out and escaping. You don't have to use that as the gate adjacent, but we'd used it. Here is the map though, that tells you you're at the bottom of the Clanberris Path. Clanberris Path. It tells you, I was just joking, we're going to go up and then we'll fall off. Hopefully not though, obviously. It's not to be joked about, people actually do get hurt and stuff, so it's quite dangerous, but here we go, this is it. We're about to make our way towards the start of the Clanberris Path. I didn't get a shot actually though, but cheeky interval for ASMR improvised water stream. This bit is actually the worst part, to be honest. This whole bit, which is tarmacked up to the actual start of the path, as I run off like Captain Jack Sparrow, is probably the hardest bit, I'm not going to lie. To start with anyway, extremeness of the inclination wise. It's probably the most difficult bit, all this tarmac bit, to the actual start of the path, which takes you up to the top of Wyddfa. That's what they like actually recalled. They changed the name a few years ago in Wales, so that it was said in Welsh rather than being called Snowdon. And also I think there's a Snowdon in Canada, Mount Snowdon in Canada. So, but yeah, some of the views on the way, absolutely awesome. Can't lie. We've not even barely started, and you already got a decent view. But like I say, the extremeness of the inclination is, vast. Here we've got an interesting little building as we passed, and I thought, let's have a little look in there. And I thought, I wonder what they used to be used for. Some of the architecture of this. Look at the way the bricks are put together. Very interesting. And it's overgrown inside, so it's been derelict and desolate. Is that correct use of terminology? I apologise if not, but yeah, either way, very interesting for sure. And then yeah, I'm just saying, look, that's where we parked. I can see my house from here. Classic GTA helicopter police vibes. I can see my house from here. I can't actually because we're miles away, but that is where we parked, down near that little lake area where the water is there in the background. And then we got to this point. We're just about to start. It's literally just up here. I didn't get a shot of it though because my cousin was still recording, and I think he was super struggling, even at this point. And he had to a little bit further on. He kept going, he kept pushing, and we kept trying. But I gave him all the encouragement I could to get to the top of Wyddfa. But you know, it was one of those things. And I even probably agree that it was the right call in the end. He had to give up at this point, basically. So if he got to this point, that's where he gave up. But the weather got worse. And I didn't realise, I forgot, because I had done this a few years ago, like 8 years ago or so. And I thought, oh yeah, after that time, maybe it's not easy, but it's doable. But actually, it was just worse than I remembered, to be honest. So it's probably a good, shout that he called it. And I tried to implement a few different ASMR sounds, but the wind was harsh. The wind was harsh on the way. I can't lie. The wind was harsh on the way to Wyddfa. The background noise was quite overwhelming on the camera, so I include it here and there, but ebb and flow in and out as I talk, and as you just hear the sounds in the background. The only thing, I couldn't isolate the rain, so I put like a rain type sound, which was similar to what was like for me on the way. I'll give you a little taste of it now. Here you go. I mentioned this just before I forget. Even 3 hours later, after I got, thankfully, spoiler alert, I did it, yeah. If you didn't see the thumbnail, just in case you didn't see it, just in case you didn't see the thumbnail, I did get it done. I got it done. But even after 3 hours on the way home, my shorts were still wet when I got home, so that's how soaked through I got. Although I will say this, if you're planning on doing this, maybe plan ahead better than me. I didn't really plan anything. I just remembered what I did last time, and where we went to the car park wise and where we started, and that was it. And even that, I must have misremembered somehow. So, maybe do your research and preparation, because this is quite difficult in the end. This is the easiest of the 6 paths. There's 6 paths to the top, and the Clanberris pass is the easiest. The other paths, we'll have a little diagram at the end once we get to the top, which gives you a bit of information about all of them if you was interested. But the Clanberris pass is path. I keep saying pass, but it's the Clanberris path. It is the easiest essentially, but it is the furthest. It just under 5 miles to the top. 8,000 kilometers. 8,000 meters. Sorry, 8 kilometers. 8,000 kilometers. 8 kilometers. Sheep on a bit of grass. Wow. 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers. The top of the actual elevation of it overall is just over 1,000 meters. 1,084.74 meters. And if you want that in feet, it's 3,558 feet. So yeah, it's pretty high. And as you can see, I am struggling a bit, but check out that rainbow here. Let's go. That's right. ASMR on a mountain. You're welcome, yeah. Wow. Now we're moving to a section of the video where I thought these loose gravel and stones and stuff make an interesting sound. Like crunchy, as you can hear. So hopefully that makes for a nice sound. And you can watch the mesmerising idea of my feet as we move past this bubbling brook. Is that brook? I don't know. It's raining. It's raining. It's raining. There's the train. Rain sounds. Rain sounds on a mountain. Rain sounds on a mountain. Rain sounds. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that little subsection of the video with sounds of the natural world as we go. Is that a sheep or a goat? I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it's a sheep, but as we pass this, natural acclimatized animal of this area, it is a nature reserve part of this. So we do a little spin. Here's some more of them. Get a little shot of me in it in a sec. How about that? How about that? Me and a sheep. Yeah, just an idea of how unusable some of that windy bit is. We are carrying on the path though, and we've just passed the last bit, which has a bridge with the train. I haven't recorded like a good 10. Ages. I stopped out to snack Jaffa cakes. We're nearly there. Way harder than I would have been. Way harder. Never again. as you can see, I was extremely struggling. So bad. But this is it. We're nearly there. This is the point when you're like, yes, it's telling you, you're nearly at the summit. Keep pushing. So we do. We keep pushing. I'm not looking too bad, but like I say, I got butter at my face and my bread roll. But we keep pushing, because we're nearly there, and I'm going to be so pleased to have it done. Yeah, we keep pushing towards the top. Like I say, we're nearly there. You can see the wind is still extremely high. But yeah, I was struggling, but of course I would be. Look at me, I weigh like 5,000 tons. I'm a big boy. Big wind barrier. But yeah, keeping it goofy, you know what I'm saying? Keep ourselves going. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that there is a rail line that goes right to the top. As you can see, like, as it's near the top, there's the actual tracks, which lead you to the top if you wanted to get the train up. So if you wanted to ever reach the top of here and go to the top, you didn't think it was capable of walking it, you know, trekking it. You can always get the train. Thomas the Tank will take you to the top. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. There's always different ways. But some of the architecture of this, yeah, because this has got to be man-made. That's not natural, is it? That's got to be man-made. But like, that's mad. Like, obviously they could have brought him up on the train and stuff, but that's still crazy. Still kind of crazy. Still extremely crazy that Wyddfa is built that way. That's mad. So fair play to whoever came up with this idea. Interesting. Very interesting. One of the other names, Snowdon, the actual name of Snowdon, in terms of the British version, comes from just means Old English words for snow hill. First written down in 1095 apparently, which that's interesting, isn't it? So Wyddfa is the actual Welsh name. This was first recorded in 1284. It means the burial mound or the height. There is a legend actually, which this name originates from, that a giant named Rita Gwa, probably pronouncing that wrong, but Rita Gwa, a giant, is buried under the mountain's top. Some stories also say that King Arthur defeated and buried Rita, or Roch, or Hita, I'm not sure if it is R-H-I-T-A, there. Other tales link Snowdon to water monsters and fairies, so there's a nice amount of mythologies. As you can see, that I take a little break here, struggling, but we're nearly there. Keep pushing. The knees are taking it, but we're gonna keep going. But yeah, because I want to reach the top, and I want to be one of those 500,000 people that'll actually make the ascension to the very top this year, which would be cool, isn't it? To be one of the few in that 500,000, just over 500,000 is roughly the amount that does it. But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get fortunate enough. As you can see, it's super overcast up there, so we didn't get to actually see the views from the top. But at this point, I'm just happy to keep pushing to get it done, so I can, say that I've done it and not be defeated by the challenge. That's what you got to do in life. You set a goal and you got to keep pushing until you get there. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how much you are struggling, sometimes you just got to say, this is the goal, I'm going to keep pushing. Nothing will stop me, nothing. These mountains, they're in our way. We will keep making it happen. And that's a little lesson, isn't it? A little lesson. This will be with me. I'm struggling today, like, recording this, but I've got a bit of soreness in my hip. But, that should pass. Hopefully, we'll see. Should pass with time. But yeah, the rocks that actually make up Snowdon were formed during the Ordovician period. This was about 458 to 457 million years ago. At that time, volcanoes erupted and created thick layers of ash. The top of Snowdon is near where an ancient volcano once stood. So yeah, that's what we are pressing our way to the top of. Over millions of years, huge glaciers moved across the land. They carved out the mountain's dramatic shape. This created the pointy peak of Snowdon or Wyddfa. It also formed the sharp, narrow ridges, like at Crib Goch. You can still see other signs of glaciers today, like smooth rocks and piles of debris. The slopes of Snowdon are one of the wettest places in Great Britain. They get more than 5,000 millilitres, 200 inches of rain every year. So if you visit, be prepared for the wet weather, unlike myself. In the winter time, it's also usually covered in snow. It's not unheard of for it to be Snowdon, to be Snowdon, snow hill. So yeah, it can change during the, depending on the year, how much snow there actually is there, that can change. The mountain's eastern side is a National Nature Reserve, to protect these unique plants and animals. Snowdon is home to many special plants, such as the Snowdon lily. It's a very rare in Britain. You can also find this lily in the Alps and North America. Many animals live around Snowdon too. Around Wyddfa, you might spot otters, the nefarious, notorious monsters that they are. Little otters, research it yourself, but they are some absolutely biblical, nefarious creatures. Polecats and goats, birds like ravens, peregrines fly overhead. You might even see a red kite. Snowdon is also home to many lakes. I tried to get a shot of one of these on the way back down, but to my eyes it wasn't overcast as much anymore, but to the camera it still was. Many lakes such as Linlador is the largest and deepest of the lakes. It is 436 metres or 1,430 feet. As you can see, me still struggling, but we're pushing on. We are pushing on. There are 6 main paths, as I have mentioned before, and many people actually train for Everest using Snowdon. Such as, what was the guy? Edmund Hillary and his team trained for Mount Everest by using Snowdon in 1953. Interesting little factoid for you. Nice, interesting little fact. In 2022, over 543,000 people walked to the summit. One of the, as I said about the 6 main walking paths, you can also combine them for different adventures. The Snowdon Horseshoe is a challenging circular walk, including a climb over Crib Goch and Ytlilived. On clear days, you can see Snowdon from far away. It is visible from Manchester Airport, Liverpool John Lennon Airport, and you can even see it from Dublin. From Dublin in Ireland. Sometimes many people visit Snowdon at once. Wyddfa at once. In 2021, there were so many visitors that people had to wait in line. They would queue for over 45 minutes just to take a photo at the summit. We're getting close to the summit, talking to the summit. We're nearly there. As I'm still struggling, still plodding along. We'll know we're there though when we hit the solid stone-looking steps, and that's the last passage to the top. But yeah, just a quick look at the ways. The first recorded climb of Snowdon was by a botanist named Thomas Johnson in 1639. However, people might have climbed it before. Probably is more likely than not though, that is the case. A historian mentioned a celebration on the mountain after King Edward I took over Wales in 1284. There is a cafe and store at the top. It was opened on the 12th of June 2009 and cost 8.4 million. I really thought it was finished ages ago. It's just never ending. It's never ending. The first building that was put up at the summit of Wyddfa was in 1838. It sold refreshments to visitors. In 1896, when the railway opened, a new station building was planned. A new, larger building with a cafe was finished in 1937. Over time, this building became old and worn out. A brand new visitor centre called Hafod butchered that, opened on the 12th of June 2009, and it cost 8.4 million to build, as I said. But yeah, that's the history of buildings on top of Wyddfa. We'll have a little chat as we're getting close. We're getting so close to the top now. Little mention of the 6 paths. Like I say, we're doing the Clamberis pass, which is supposed to be the easiest, but like I say, also the longest. The longest path about 6.8 kilometres or 4.2 miles. It gains 965 metres or 3,166 feet in height
It follows the railway line and is considered the easiest way up. This route is used for the annual SNOWDON race. The record time for this race is less than 40 minutes to the summit. A part of this path, called the Killer Convex, can be very dangerous in icy conditions as we reach the steps of destiny to meet the top of the ascent, and we will finally be done and dusted with our battle against the Welsh mountain Wyddfa. But until we see that golden disc, the golden disc on the plinth of destiny, it will not be done. But yeah, the Killer Convex can be very dangerous in icy conditions. Uncareful walkers can slip over cliffs. Other paths include Snowdon Ranger Path, which is 6.3 kilometres or 3.9 miles. Rid Dew Path, which is 5.8 kilometres or 3.6 miles long. The Watkin Path, which is 6.2 kilometres or 3.9 miles long. The Over White Lilyved Path, which is 6.4 kilometres or 4 miles. The Miners Track, which is 6.6 kilometres or 4.1 miles. And the Pig Track, which is 5.3 kilometres or 3.3 miles long. Oh, and also the Crib Gok, which we was talking about before, which is 5 kilometres or 3.1 miles long. So yeah, once you factor in walking from that car park which we started on, we're basically done about 5 miles, you'd have to say, you'd have to guess. But yeah, like I said before, you can also take the train up. The railway opened in 1896, and it's still very popular. It carries over 130,000 passengers each year. Trains are pushed up the mountain by either steam or diesel engines. Building the railway cost about 63,800 back in the day. That would be like millions of pounds today, as we are basically there now. We are so close. As you can see on the right, you might have just, spied it. I spied with your little eye the building that is the summit. The little calf is called, like I say, Hafod Eriwai. I'm terrible I'm butchering these so bad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. These are the final steps to the top. We are struggling, but we are pushing. We're nearly there. I can actually see it. I think I can literally see, or not quite see, but I can feel it. I can envision it through the clouds, through the overcast skies. I can see what is surely the plinth of destiny, the end of our adventure. To succeed in what we started, all we've got to do is climb those stepping stones just there. That set of steps just there, and we are done. These are the final steps to the top, and our date with destiny will be complete. I'm soaked, I'm a bit sore, but I've made it. These are some of the hardest steps of the day, as luckily we don't have to wait in a queue, but there are a few people. Luckily I helped them. I took a picture of them, and then they're going to help me in a sec. Get a little snap of me at the top, in which I will play you a little bit of audio from the video, and you can see how blizzardy it is. That's the gal that helped me out, thankfully. This guy's in my shop, but it is what it is. Having his coffee. Here we are at the top. Let's go. Thankfully, we did it. Disc of Destiny. I was just saying, what is that? And yeah, what that actually highlights is if you look in that direction on a clear day, you can see certain things, and that's what it shows you. This is the map I was talking about at the top. So yeah, this is just a map, and then also gives you a little key card as well as colour card to each path on the map. Gives you a bit more detail, tells you the difficulty, the distance, and a bit more information about why. So if you wanted to know any more, you could always pause on this section on the path. And then that one at the top there is the Clamberis one, and like I say, the easiest, but also the longest. And just like that, we have completed it, mate. We're done. We are going back down. We're heading back down to solid ground. Thankfully, we've done it. We didn't give up. It was easy to. We could have done that, but we didn't. We kept pushing. And yeah, we've completed our journey, which is a good lesson for life as well. But as it is, we did it. That's the important thing. On the way back down, you'll see some spectacular views now. We'll get a nice couple of shots. You'll also see the lake peeking through. As well as we got close to the bottom, the sun started coming out, which was nice too. But yeah, if you're thinking about doing it, it's well worth it. You have to just persevere though, especially if you're unfit like myself. But it is what it is. I just rocked up 4 a.m, left, back for 4:30. So round trip, up, down, shake it all around. Something like that, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, lovely day. Would have been nice if it was sunny, but it is what it is. like I say, we keep morale high, just like John Marston or Arthur Morgan on the way down, saying hello to everyone, saying how you doing, telling people, yeah, you're not close, keep going, keep going. We're farming that high honour, you know, just like in Red Dead. Shout out to you if you get the reference, but like I say, it's been a hard one. Hopefully this one was interesting, this video. I tried something a bit different, hopefully that's cool. If not, it is what it is, we tried our best. We can only give stuff a go, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. Hopefully you enjoyed it, even if you stuck with it and didn't really rate it too much. Either way, thanks so much for watching to this point, and we'll have the classic sign off right at the end, but I just wanted to say it now while we're on the way down, under stones, underpass, we're walking down the same way we came back up, just FYI in case you're wondering. Clamberus path, and the way we returned down, I kept saying pass. I guess you could call it that too. Yeah. What a pretty epic journey, to be fair. Reflecting on it now, like I say, hopefully I won't be sore in a couple of days and that'll be good. But yeah, it's what it is. Make sure you take snacks, liquids, probably better, clothing. And other than that, enjoy the day. If you do go for it, enjoy it. Maybe do a bit more preparation than me. That's probably the key. But yeah, other than that, hopefully, pretty lovely, to be fair, pretty lovely. So anyway, that's that. We did it. Never again. So yeah, wow. That was a bit harder than I thought it was going to be, not going to lie, but we did it. We're back home, thank God. The drive home was, I was tired, but we do these things and we get it done. The mind is stronger than the body. The body will do what I tell it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Other than that, anything I have to say is have a great day, have a great day, have a great day. And cheers for the best. God bless. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye.